Greetings, dear friends. Happy Monday. Hope you had a peaceful, restful weekend. Here we are with our usual Monday check-in and our letting go guidance session for the week ahead. Before we get into what we're going to be working on letting go of this week, I like to just draw your attention to the different phases of the moon. So if you've been watching these sessions before, you know that I like to just feel into what's going on with the moon. And the reason I do that is, astrologically speaking, the moon kind of reflects who we are at the core, the essence of us. So yesterday, the 9th, January 9th, we welcomed the first quarter phase of the moon in the sign of Aries. Now, the first quarter moons generally give us a lot of clarity and insight, awareness, understanding, but there can be a wee bit of a sense of a little bit of discombobulation, a little bit of upset energies around you, maybe. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, but just be aware of it. Because it's in the sign of Aries, it's going to be action. So perhaps it's time to start really catalyzing those intentions, those auspicious intentions and goals that you have for this year, but also to recognize when it's time to do things, but also when it's time to not. As you know, we're in this new year of 2022, which is all about unconditional love, self-acceptance, self-worth, filling your own cup up first. So when we're in a phase of getting some clarity on our goals and our intentions and what is our mission in life, if you like, then it's about understanding when is it time to do things and when is it time to just reflect and recognize when is it the time for you to do some action steps. Now, the other reason that I'm saying that it's so important to just feel into this is that we are heading into the first Mercury retrograde season of 2022. And this one is going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to this. If you've watched these recordings before, you know that I love a Mercury retrograde. They give us a chance to review, do over things that maybe we wished we'd done differently or handled differently in the past. But this one in particular is going to be very, very important for us to get clear on, and it's going to support us in getting clear on what do we align with? What do you align with internally around you? Are there habits and patterns and people and situations and indoctrinations that don't serve you, that don't align with you, and that you're maybe selling yourself a wee bit short? So just feel into that. Get ready for that. That's going to start on the 14th and will be with us until I think it's February 3rd. But I'll talk a wee bit more about that next week. But just to kind of give you a wee bit of a heads up that that's coming on the 14th. So coming in this week. So all that said, take a nice deep breath and just let's land collectively here into this beautiful moment. And I hope you can feel this beautiful moment of unconditional love. Unconditional love coming from my heart. Unconditional love in your heart. Loving acceptance from you to you. It's very important. And it's really important to do that regularly. Just come into that space. Now, all that being said, what we're going to be working on letting go of this week is loneliness. So now you can understand why I'm saying it's super important to really, excuse me, I need to get my guidebook there. It's really important to focus on you are the love that you're looking for. It's right here within you. It's right here. So if you are feeling a wee bit lonely, are there things that your soul is whispering to you to pay attention to something else? You see, solitude is a blessing, and loneliness actually can be experienced whether you're with people or not. I'm sure you can agree with that. But let me read this out. See if there is any aspects of loneliness that is maybe blocking you from seeing what's possible for you, what you want to have, what you don't want to have. Because let's face it, this is all about preference. When we set intentions or goals, we need to get the balance of what you want and what you don't want. And it's not right or wrong. It's like, it's just allowing you to get clear on that alignment piece. And I think that that's going to set you up well for going through the Mercury retrograde that's coming. So let me read this out to you. See if this goes a wee bit deeper and helps you. So it says, this card has come up for you today to encourage you that loneliness is no big deal. Truth is, we all get lonely sometimes. It's just a part of life. Our job is to just recognize it, name it, lean into it, and then let it go. Sometimes letting loneliness go will require you to just sit in the feeling long enough to, and allow yourself to get to a place where you're willing to try just about anything to get through it. In that space, you can find a spiritual energy that will help you shift to the next step. Remembering this whole piece that you're a spiritual being, and I've said this before, that I believe that the answer to any question that we could possibly ever ask, the essence of it will always be spiritual based, because we are spiritual based beings who are having this experience. So whatever thinking or mindset or emotions are going on, it's always to come back to that spiritual strength that's within you. That, like I said, is often whispering, and we don't carve out enough time sometimes to hear it, to feel into it, to go into the rhythm of it. So at times we need to just train our chattering monkey minds not to wallow in the loneliness. Whenever the obsessing starts, we can just literally say to ourselves, let go. Or even sing that song, Letting Go. That comes from Frozen. There's the song. I had to think about that for a moment. That when I start thinking of let it go, I can hear that song in my mind. Maybe you could do that. That might actually help, just break up any sense of being loneliness or being or being alone. Because of course, let's face it, you are actually never ever alone. You can be the observed and the observer. You can tap into whatever your sense of the universe is, or your sense of higher self, guides, angels, whatever that might be. You can just sit in and maybe even have a conversation with them. Go and have a journal session for yourself to see, are there messages that you're missing? That can actually really help break apart any sense of loneliness. Okay, so just take a nice deep breath again. I'm going to pull a tarot card. Let's see what wisdom, what insight can we have from the tarot to help us recognize, acknowledge, be with, breathe through, and let go of any sense of loneliness. Just take a nice deep breath as I pull the card. And it's the Page of Swords. I love it when we get pages coming up in the tarot, because pages are like new baby ideas. So we're planting the seed for a new way of thinking, perhaps even a new way of talking about yourself and to yourself, and a new way of accessing the core essence of you. So see if framing up any perception of loneliness could just be something that you accept. Maybe you start to write, maybe you start to talk to your cat, or talk to the trees around you, or journal more and speak more to, like I said, whatever your sense of the energy around you is. It feels nurturing when we get into daily practices like this. And it is a daily practice, you see, because when we don't do things like that, we're forgetting that we deserve our own unconditional love. And that means doing these things like maybe taking some time to just meditate or journal or just focus on your breathing. That's why I do these things with you where I say, put your hand over your heart and take a deep breath. That's like a wee bit of a pattern interrupt too, because if you are conditioned by the chattering mind, the monkey mind, then sometimes that will make you feel lonely because it's focusing on lack perhaps, or focusing on what's not there, forgetting to let you see what really is there. So as I've been kind of riffing on that part, I was shuffling Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels cards, and I'm going to pull us 3 cards, because that's how I like to wrap this conversation up and see what cards are going to come for us here. And this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The very first one is Miracles. Whenever I see this card, you know, I'm reminded of my favorite affirmation, and this is a favorite affirmation when things might be feeling a little bit off, or the energy's sticky, or maybe I'm feeling lonely. The affirmation is, I believe anything is possible and miracles are happening now. And just keep repeating that. I believe anything is possible and miracles are happening now. Of course, you can only say that if you do believe that anything's possible. That's the thing about affirmations, is you can't be saying them if they're not your words. So play with that. If that makes sense, go ahead and use it. I like that one. Ideas and inspiration. This is beautiful, because this actually really feels like it's part of that energy of what I was saying about the first quarter moon in Aries, that the first quarter moon giving you ideas and inspiration and clarity, and maybe some missing pieces of information coming through for you. So this is beautiful, that if you let go of things that are distracting you or keeping you off the alignment with the truth of you, or with your own ideas and inspiration. And then of course the other part is intention, which is beautiful. That really feels like a beautiful mix up of letting go of loneliness, of really feeling into the energy of that first quarter moon in the sign of Aries, and then this upcoming Mercury retrograde on the 14th, because all of that all together, I mean, that's why I like to check into all of these energies, because we sit here with our own unique propensity and ways of doing things and being, but then we get influenced by all these planetary pieces and the energies around us. And so it feels like a beautiful mix-up of lots of different supportive awesomeness, and really helping you get into alignment with what's your truth, what's your path, what's your uniqueness, what are you bringing into being, and do more of that. I wish you a beautiful week ahead. I hope this all makes sense. If ever you feel something coming up that you need some more support or guidance on, get in touch with me. This is my passion, is to help people get clarity on letting go of what's not serving them. So you can put that in the comments below or message me directly. Much love. Thank you very much for watching.